Hey everybody, hello. I'm Brig with PDQ.com, and
I'm Lex. Social distancing.
Yep, social distancing.
Not really, but
Not really. No.
Hey, we talk about some things that you can do to prep for working remote.
Yes.
Surprise, surprise! I would wonder why anyone would consider doing that right now.
Yeah. I don't know. There seems to be. Yeah. Yes.
On that note, let's just do this right from the beginning.
Yep.
Here you go. All
Yes.
right.
All right.
So, should we jump in?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
jump
All right. First of all, kind of got to address the elephant in the room, maybe.
Yep.
VPN.
Yes.
Let's talk about VPN really quick. First thing, in regards to VPN, guys, there are so many different ways that you can get VPN hooked up, along with so many different clients and devices. And so that being said,
Operating systems. Yeah.
that being said, we can't tell you how to set your VPN up. What we can do, though, is we're going to go over some high-level stuff that'll help you know what to do to troubleshoot to get your VPN working, so you can actually use PDQ deploy and inventory over the VPN.
Yep.
So first thing that we probably should talk about in regards to that is the ports. Again,
Yes.
the great thing you can do is go to look up. I always look up PDQ firewall ports, and
Yep.
here it comes up. And check it out. Mr. Brig wrote this
That's
one.
me.
Anywho, discussion on ports. What do you
I
think?
didn't really write it. I made it pretty.
You made it pretty.
Yeah.
With your picture.
Yes. So the ports here that you need open, this would be something that, so probably should discuss edge devices.
Okay,
So Palo
absolutely.
Alto, Cisco, WatchGuard, SonicWall, FortiGate, all of those edge devices that create like your persistent or intermittent SSL VPN tunnels. These are the ports that you would need to open on that to allow that traffic through. Usually, when you're creating like a VPN infrastructure, if you're not too concerned with safety, you'll just open up everything because it's already double encrypted. But if you're being more specific and targeted, these are the ports that you would need to have open for that. If you're not using SMB version 1, you can try getting around the port 139, but I would just test that.
Go
and see.
easy on yourself there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
test it and see.
Okay, and again, I just want to bring this up. You want to open those through that VPN tunnel connection, not to the world, okay, guys?
Yeah.
And just straight up, that's bad. It's like Ghostbusters bad.
Yep.
So you're going to need to do that. Okay, so your machines can talk to, the console can talk to the remote machine, the remote machine can talk to the console.
Brig, I think we need to update that note. The SMB v1, there's now a vulnerability on SMB v3 with the
right
SMB
there.
Ghost.
Yeah, they patched that though.
They have patched it.
Yep.
Been patched?
But
It was compression.
perhaps we need to update this
Probably
page.
should say like, hey, by the way,
Hey,
everything's fine.
It's not just SMB v1, but there is a patch available.
Yep.
Deploy it now if you haven't.
Yes.
I will drink to the new patch.
And do not turn off port
Dude,
445.
yeah, don't turn SMB off, guys. Bad. That's another Ghostbusters bad.
Yep.
Yeah, there has been some bad advice on the internet
Yes.
as of
Much.
late that people are saying
Surprise.
that
I
the
would
fix
say-
is turn off 445. No, you're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
Bad things will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, the other thing,
point.
the other issue, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No. The other issue you're going to run to is this, okay? So when you connect to your VPN device, does your device control DHCP or does it relay to a DHCP server?
Yep.
That depends on how your setup is. Regardless of how that setup is, we need to make sure that the IPs that get assigned get forwarded into the DNS server.
Yes.
Looking at the ceiling. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So here's something about that, okay? Most of your edge devices are generally not Windows devices. They're usually a Linux, which is awesome. We had a little debate earlier about, right? Or Unix or some other
agree.
form of... And that being said, you'll need to go in your DHCP, or excuse me, DNS manager, go to your zone level, right-click on this and go to Properties. And right here, where it says Secure Only, you're going to have to set that to Non-Secure and Secure.
Only do this if you're dealing with things outside of Active Directory, like DNS outside of DHCP, outside of Active Directory. If you're within Active Directory, don't secure fine, and you want to keep that that way.
But that will actually allow that discussion or the talking back and forth between the end device and your DHCP.
Yep.
So that's another sticking point we find a lot of people have problems with. Like, hey, I can't get it to this point. Check that. That's a good one to check. Any other comments on?
Yeah, so if you're going to relay okay, so Can I just take over? Just
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely.
I'm just gonna. All right. So if you're using a DHCP server on like a Windows DHCP server, and you can relay that. I mean, it's 2020, so your edge device should be able to relay IP helpers if it's really old,
yeah.
but DHCP relay if it's a relatively new OS on whatever edge device you're using. We'll be able to do that. That's just fine. And they'll usually the manufacturer will have instructions on doing that. That's great. And then you can have that come back to your DNS manager. But there are instances where you don't have that, like you've got older hardware or whatever, and you're not able to do that DHCP relay. In that case, on the edge device, I would recommend, I cannot believe these words are going to come out of my mouth.
Oh, here it goes.
First, reserve all of the addresses of all of your remote devices in DHCP. That way they're always getting the same IP address. Then take that, export that, create
Whoa. I know where you're going now.
Yes, you do.
Okay, I'm just going to grab my glass and go like this. Go ahead.
Let's both.
Before you even
both of
say
us-
it, we'll just gotta cleanse the palate because here it comes.
Export that, put it in the format of your host's file, and put it in the host's file on your PDQ machine.
I cannot believe you just said build a host file.
Uh-huh.
Okay, extreme times, sometimes
yeah.
extreme measures, but
And this is like if you're dealing with like legacy hardware that you're just not able to relay anything, you can't. There's no connectivity whatsoever, because ultimately, the idea here is that you want to be able to ping those remote devices. If you can ping it, then you're
90%
set.
there.
Yeah, because all you have to do is then just make sure that the ports are open and there's some sort of communication, and that's all you need to do. But yeah, sometimes I know.
Oh, you said it. That's the thing.
It hurt
Build a host
so
file.
bad. It did.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I watch this. I'm just gonna get that clip, build a host file, and I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna send.
I know. It's going to curse me forever.
Yeah.
But anyway,
All right,
it is an option that's available.
It is if you need to go there.
Yeah.
All right, and finally on your console machine, guys, there's a little bit of debate on this one. You know, updating your DNS cache, so flushing your DNS cache. I kind of think it's harmless to do an IP config flush DNS, and I would say do it as often as your heartbeat.
Yep.
Is that overkill? Yeah, it is. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts that the flush DNS command is basically a troubleshooting command. So you should need to do it. And if you are finding that you do need to do it, then there's something else that's awry, and then you need to investigate. But is there any harm in doing it? No. So if it works and you're like, I'm not getting into that DNS stuff, I mean, like I would personally enjoy getting into it, but if you're not into that, then just flush DNS is fine.
Which does bring up scavenging.
Yep.
All right. So in regards to scavenging, guys, we did a webcast, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, we've done a few on them.
It's a good one on scavenging and how aggressive you can set that.
Yep.
Here's the thing about aggressive scavenging. If, let's say, you've got 100 people working remote and you've got 50 IPs or 30 IPs, and people are going to be hitting them and they will be used over and over and over again, I would suggest aggressive scavenging in this case.
Yeah, unless you do IP reservations. Again, not a thing that I would normally recommend, but desperate times.
All right.
Desperate times.
So hopefully we've given you some tools to troubleshoot and get your VPNs working so you can update those machines remotely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't give advice on like every VPN situation or setup because it's so
Vast.
Like how you do it is just, there's so many ways of doing it. You could do it at the OS level, like Windows has its options that you can do, which requires like an enormous amount of setup on Windows networking side. The easiest way is really edge device with just DHCP relay and DNS. If you have that option, that's amazing. If you don't have that option, there are less appealing options, but it's still possible. So,
That being said, guys, Jordan and I did a video a couple days ago on VPN setups, and look for the one with me and Jordan with the mask on. Okay, that video kind of goes through what we just talked about. So,
yep.
That being said,
Okay.
let's take care of not actually having to work so that we can drink coffee and scotch at home.
Scotch, really, finally.
Again, this is kind of a basics, guys, but you know what? It's sometimes good to hear it so you know what you can do and what's out there and available. So, that being said, let's automate everything so we don't have to go into the office, right? So, right out the gate, guys,
I'm glad you're doing this because
you feeling the drinks?
I'm doing all right.
I love that.
Doing
I
all
love that. All right, guys, we're just going to do a basic here. Check it out, Chrome. This is a auto download package. Surprise, surprise, Chrome 132. Guess what? If I look down here, auto download approvals waiting. Click on that. And I go to, I got to get rid of the filter there.
Yep.
Apparently I was looking for putty. It's not out there, but guess what? There's
all the time, by the
Okay.
way.
So I've got mine set the default, which is 7 days. Okay, I'm going to kind of leave this for the situation, and then we will actually approve this. So what you would do in this case, again, you're going to build your schedule. This is basic stuff here.
It is real basic, but it's surprising like how much those. It's there. It's just yep.
Yep, there it is. All right, so Chrome. Okay, you guys, I'm driving today, so you know it's going to be bad spelling day. Triggers. We're going to go weekly.
You spelled it with a CH and not a K.
I am surprised I spelled it correctly, but it's lowercase, so you
Okay.
you can't give me too much credit there. All right, so we'll say that 8 o'clock at night. Again, I do these at night, guys, because I practice social distancing from my phone. I don't want a call from an end user. I really don't.
No.
I mean, let's be honest. The less interaction I have, the better.
You do know that we have end users here now, right? At PDQ, we have end users.
We do?
Yeah.
I should probably not say that then. I love the end users, and they can call me anytime.
Okay.
Did that sound sincere?
Nope.
All right. That being said,
All
guys, we're going to go to inventory. We're going to grab Chrome old. Okay. Again, just to do the narrative for you guys, there's Chrome.
Yep.
I've got 21 machines with Chrome, and surprisingly, I've got 21 machines that need a new version of Chrome. So when I do my schedule, I'm going to select Chrome old, because if they have it already at the latest version, they don't need it. If they don't have it, there's probably a reason for that.
Yep.
Okay. Options, stop deploying targets once they succeed. Give it an OK. So at this point, anybody in Chrome old, this Friday at whatever time I set, I think it was 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. 8 o'clock is going to get the new version of Chrome. Now, let's say we had a 0-day issue, right? I've got to do this now, right?
Yeah, that did happen with Chrome like what, a couple months ago.
Did it?
Yep.
So that's why I didn't approve this already. So here's the thing, right? We go and we have those approvals, and I'm like, hey, there's the approval. I highlight it. I approve now. There it is. It's now going to download the new version instantly. It's not going to wait the 7 days. Okay. Once that's down, I don't have to go and deploy it. You know, that's too many clicks for me, man. I'm the laziest sysadmin ever. Check it out. Cracking my knuckles because I'm only going to click like twice here. I'm going to go to schedules. I'm going to right click on Chrome, and I'm going to say start the schedule and run all attached packages.
Yep.
Haven't had to change anything. Boom. It's going right now.
Yep.
Any thoughts?
Nope. I mean, and there are. Be aware that there's a lot of ways that you can play around with this too. So, like, even if there's like a 0 day, you can have a schedule run that runs once a day, several times a day. I know that you were talking about this too. You and I were discussing this, where you can have, and so long as you have that stop deploying once succeeded, then once you have that checked, you're fine. But it'll also, because you're using collections, it will also move out of that collection and go to the latest. So you won't actually be double dipping into like the same collection.
Did you just refer to the double tap?
I did. Well, double dipping.
Double dip. Oh,
Yeah, like,
okay.
I'm not going to hit that computer
We're talking
twice.
Zombieland double tap. Pow, pow.
Like, nope.
Should we do a question? Let's do a question.
Dear Lex and Brig, how do you handle security for hourly users that don't normally work from home? No MDM on cell phones for hourly employees, no MFA. Woo. Flu.
Okay, time out. That's a lot of alphabet soup for me. MDM, MFA.
Yeah. Mobile device management, multi-factor authentication, and work from home.
All right.
So those are your three acronyms.
Thank you for translating soup for me.
Woo-flu. Oh,
All right. What are you doing that for?
the name. Woo-flu.
It might be the real name. I don't know. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
How do we handle security for that on hourly users?
Wow. Okay. I don't know the difference between hourly and salary and why that would matter.
So check this out. You could make it so, can't you take a login in AD and say it can only work from this time to this time?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Okay, so you could do that to limit the hours that they work.
Yep.
I think that's a lot of work for you.
Well, here's the problem,
for me.
though, is that Woof is saying that there's no device management. So, like on the cell phones and things like that, iPads and stuff like that, and there's no multi-factor authentication for that. That's bad.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
That's bad.
The MFA or the 2FA, I'm wondering if anything that you have, or any sort of like any service that you use, if you can't set that up automatically. I know that we have done that with like Google and Zoom and all of the mini services that we use. We've set up multi-factor authentication. So I'm kind of wondering if you just can't set that up. Even if they're at home working on their own compute resources, if they couldn't do that. As far as like mobile device management, Apple, I know, has.
There's a lot of options there.
Yeah, they've got a.
It really
they've got
depends on
something
your
that you can
device.
use,
Yeah.
But yeah, it does depend on the device. As far as security goes, that's a rough one because it's huge. I wish Alex were here.
Yeah, that's a good
Alex
point.
would be like, "Oh, do this," but yeah, there are
So
some.
that's our
some
answer.
precautions.
That's not really an answer.
Yeah. Does
think
that
we're
mean
just-
we have to drink? That means we. Have to
you know,
drink.
okay, I'm okay with
we've
that.
got
We'll
stuff
drink to that.
The answer is hopefully Alex is watching and he can.
Yeah,
You can
and Alex can
chime in.
chime in. I don't know if Alex is on the.
I hope he is.
I hope he is too. Or Colby. Colby would be good
Yep.
too.
Someone will
It's fun-
bother him on
Funny,
Slack.
I always expect Alex to be watching to see, so that every time I'm done with one of those, he's like, dude, don't ever do that again.
Don't ever do that.
So, all right, do we got another question? I mean, since we're hitting some questions.
Yeah.
Carry on? Carry
Okay.
on? All right. Okay, so in the vein or the spirit of automating,
Yep.
let's automate testing.
Okay.
All right, again,
Now, describe to me what testing means in your vernacular.
well, I need an A. Okay,
No.
so here's the thing, right? New Chrome comes out. I don't want to send it out to production. I want to test it on a handful of machines first.
All right.
Testing.
Yep. Same thing as like a pilot program or anything like that.
Yep. All right. So I already did this, and so I'm going to delete this one, and we're going to do it again. But boom, here we go. I'm going to do a new static collection. The reason it's static is I want to maintain this.
Yep.
This is the only reason I do static collections because dynamic takes care of itself.
Yep.
But this I want to add machines, so we're going to type in test machines.
It's
I
fine.
almost did it. Okay, it's me. Fine,
Well,
I'll leave it at
there's
that.
the capital E, which is the shift key is a bridge too far. I get it. Just go.
Is
Go.
that just roll with it?
Just
Okay.
roll with it.
So I'm going to select a handful of machines and feel the shame of my typing skills. Okay. Now, normally when you pick test machines, I'd pick, stuff that covers your, you get a
Yeah.
good,
Like your power users.
thank you.
I know that. So there's 7 of us, including Lex,
Mm-hmm.
that are like on the fast track updates for Windows and Windows Office, so that we can test those out before they roll out to production. So that we're just, if there are problems, we know what that is.
The other thing I like to do is pick someone you don't like.
Yep.
I like you, but what is your machine, by the way? All right. You don't tell me, but okay.
Don't tell
I'm
me.
not telling you that. I'm not giving you that information.
Okay, so here's the test machines, right? And we're going to drag that out here so that it's not a sub of. There we go.
Yep.
Anytime you get a sub, easy, just drag it. Okay, so now we've got our test machines. To test this, now let's just do Chrome since we've already got a Chrome thing. Here, if I look at this Chrome, right? I look under options. This is going to download with the global
You move
setting,
that
right?
window over. That is.
Can I? Yeah.
That is just.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's
outside
so
of the
bad.
stream.
So bad. So to do this, I want one to come down immediately, and I can't do it with this, so I'm going to download another one. Package library, and I'm going to pick packages, and I'm
How
going
many
to
can
type
you
in.
download?
Chrome. I don't know how many. That's a Colby question. How many? Because he would actually know that.
Probably 65,536.
I bet you it's in derivatives of 64 or something to that effect. I'm going to download another version of this, right? Okay. When that comes down, ting, I'm going to go change that so it's not using the global setting for the download.
Yeah.
And we're going to take that. You'll notice it's named 2. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and change it so I know that it's my test. Okay. Again, guys, this should be fairly easy for you.
Nope. Almost succeeded, but not quite.
That's 2. Okay. Boom. Test.
There you go.
All right. And then I'm going to go to options and I'm going to take off, use the preference settings from preferences and hit immediate. Okay. Reason I renamed it, so I know these guys are coming down immediately.
Now, what does the immediate do?
Well, so when the package is updated, and as soon as your deploy knows about it, it says, I need it right now.
Okay.
Downloads it.
And how often does deploy check into the package
Are
library?
you asking me questions I don't know live? I know this one is too.
Okay, all right.
I know this one. I know this one.
I'm sorry.
I think it's every 2 hours, isn't it? Checks in every couple hours?
At least.
At least check.
Yeah, I thought it was a little bit more.
Okay, if
frequent
it's
than
more
that.
than 2 hours and you haven't seen it, guys, you might want to cycle your service.
Yeah, I think it's more frequent than that, but
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not exactly sure. I always figure if you see it in 2 hours from the time we put it
Yeah.
out, you're good to go. The nice thing that's going to come down, and then all you got to do is build a new schedule for this guy. Okay, and we're just going to call this Chrome test.
Just
Oh yeah. Boom.
yes.
Typed it that time. Okay, triggers. This you can go in daily interval. I mean, let's just say we want to run this like, every 8 hours and 1 minute.
Yep.
I mean, you can pick your interval, but the big thing is you pick your targets from the inventory collection you just built, which is called test machines.
Now this is your static one, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And these ones,
So that's
you wanna-
important. There's an important thing coming up here, but yeah.
Okay. And then options, again, stop deploying once they
Yeah,
succeed.
so that's the important one right there, because you don't, if you're doing an interval where it happens several times a day, you don't want to have it just keep redeploying and redeploying and redeploying, especially since it's a static collection. It's not going to move out of there. Because it is static, it's not going to move out of that collection. Make sure that's checked. That way you're not redeploying all the time. Is that good?
That's so cool. I'm going to do little thumbs.
Little thumbs.
That's cool, but that's really cool. All right. So testing is now automated for you. Okay. Do that for anything you want to test. Now, here's the thing. Let's say version 149 goes south.
Yep.
You don't have to delete your schedule. All you got to do is come up to that's production, right click and say disable the schedule and figure out what's going on.
Like, Lex, I don't know what's happened to my machine, but something happened last night and today Chrome's not working. So can you help me out, buddy?
Now, when that happens, I usually go, 1 sec, let me check your machine. I fix it by going and downloading the old package from Chrome, right? I grab the previous version, uninstall, reinstall, and go, I don't see a problem. Maybe you should reboot and try it again.
Yeah.
Now, is that
Problem taken care of.
deceitful?
Absolutely not.
No?
Because you have, there is, at no time have you provided inaccurate information.
All right.
You are technically correct throughout
So
the entire
basically,
process.
I fixed it without letting him know that it was fixed?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I like it. All right. Do we have any questions in regards to automating anything? How do I grow a cool beard like Brig? I mean,
Oh, really?
I just wanna-
Is that
right
automating?
now it's terrible.
that,
We
is
do
that
have- we do have a
automated?
question
Is that
here.
I get like they made a run on razors and
No. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grow it out so that like I decide what I want to do with it. I just don't know yet. Anyway, let's go.
We,
All
we
right.
do have a question. I'm not
Oh, we
sure.
got a question. Okay.
We
keep
do have a
going.
question. I'm not sure how much it relates to automating.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
Dear Lex and Brig, is there a way to automatically uninstall an app if found? I'm thinking of Spotify, etc.
Absolutely.
Sincerely, Joshua C.
Absolutely.
But isn't Spotify user context?
That may be.
Yeah, maybe.
That may be. Let me show you how to do it if you can find the app installed.
Yep.
So the first thing you do is you go to inventory and you're going to build a new dynamic collection. And we're going to say
Spotify.
bad. Okay, I should just
Spotify
stop
that bad?
typing, right? All right, bad. And since I don't have Spotify on the lab, I'm going to say bad 7-zip. Wow, that got even worse, didn't it? Okay, bad 7-zip.
There we go. All right.
All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to look for computers with any application where the name contains, in your case, Spotify, but since I don't have it, we're going after 7-zip.
Yep.
Give it an OK. Bing. Drag this out so that it's not a sub of our test machines.
And while he's doing that, just want to note here that if the application is not found in the same list as appwiz.cpl, it will not show up in this particular list. Like it'll show that it's not installed. So just be aware that if Windows doesn't see it installed, i.e. it's installed in the user context, then it's not going to show up in here as well because that's specific to that particular registry hive, and that's not something that's dynamic. It's something that we can't pull.
Now the first thing
slow.
oh yeah, thank
Sorry.
you. Wow, that was a rabbit hole. I'm dragging you back.
Okay. All right.
Okay, the first thing you do, check for an uninstall package because the crew here loves you and
Yeah.
they want to make as many uninstall packages. Fortunately, I don't think we have an uninstall Spotify, do we? I guess we can
I
look,
don't think
huh?
so. Yeah, just do
Scroll
a thing for
down, let's see Spotify.
Pretty sure we don't.
Nope, no Spotify. Okay, in this case, we do happen to have an uninstall 7-zip package, so download that. Okay, once that's down, or while that's coming down, you go and build yourself a new schedule. Now, this one you can go as aggressive as you want. I like to do intervals. We'll say every 3 hours or anytime someone reboots their machine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah, heartbeat. We forgot to talk about that.
Heartbeat.
Important. Yes. One
Okay.
of the best things ever.
Heartbeat, when a machine goes from an offline to an online state in inventory, checks in with deploy and says, hey, was I supposed to get anything? And takes care of it at
Yeah.
that moment.
Regardless of your interval.
So you've got uninstall 7-zip. How do they create an uninstall Spotify package?
We're getting there.
All right.
We are getting there. Thank
Basics
I'm
first.
jumping ahead.
Basics
you.
first.
We go find our
Wait for the chime.
bad 7-zip, bad Spotify in this case. Boom. There it is. Options. Stop deploying. Do you want to really stop it if it runs once?
Oh yeah.
In this case, you don't.
Oh wait, I don't. Why?
Because you know what? If they install it again, history's going to show that ran.
So there's not going to.
In this case, yeah, it will run once. But if I take that away,
Yep.
If they find it, it's going to run every single time. So that's your big stuck there if you're not careful.
Yeah, but also be aware that if it's a giant uninstall program, it's going to run every time. So if it does a lot of searching, the chances are very unlikely.
Again, we find it if it has it in the collection library.
Exactly.
It's
So
going to
collection
try.
library.
Okay. So speaking of which, let's go up and do some Google foo.
Okay.
Silent.
Oh, it's the first day of spring today.
Uninstall. Is it?
Yep.
Spot.
I thought that's March 21st.
No, it's the 19th this year.
The 19th this year?
Yeah, well, we
Because
had a
of-
leap
because
year,
of
and then
leap
it was
year.
also like that time thing, and then
And then
Check it out. Even Google makes fun of me for my spelling.
they don't make fun of you. They're just like, is this what you meant?
How to completely remove Spotify. Boom. How to remove Spotify. Uninstall Spotify script, IT Ninja. Ooh, here we go. I can see some silent parameters here.
Yep.
Spotify, EXE, uninstall, silent. So look, here we go. I guess I could pop this up. It looks like most of that's right there in the summary. There you go. Here it is.
Yeah, test this out first on your
Absolutely.
own machine and see if it actually works. Because sometimes if it's user context, it may not work.
But then again, the Google foo, you got to make sure it's silently uninstalled. Okay. If you've got uninstall strings in inventory, which you have, right, and it's MSIs, it may be by version. So you may need to make a different uninstall per version.
Yeah.
Per version.
Yeah.
If you say that fast, it sounds really bad.
It does
Perversion.
sound-
Well, it's not
Perversion.
perverted.
All
per
right.
version.
Per dash version.
Yeah.
All right.
Not even a dash, just put a space in there.
Just
I like the dash, man. All right.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, and when I say test on your own machine, I don't mean test against your user because you're logged in, so it might already be loaded up in your context. Create another user, install Spotify as that user on that machine, and then test to see if the removal actually works on that. So you don't want to do it on your own because you're already logged in. So, just my
Absolutely.
recommendation.
You want to hit another question, or should we talk about imaging? All right.
Okay.
Dear Lex and Brig, what are the security implications of giving at-home end users programs like ConnectWise or GoToConnect to remote in? Thanks, Andrew S.
Okay, I'm going to hit a real
Okay.
generic global. Okay.
Yeah.
Anytime you allow remote access, you're opening a whole new world of security issues, which is all right. Something you obviously have to address. I was going to say bad, but it's necessary, but it's bad, but it's necessary. Yeah, I mean, you see where I'm going with this,
Yeah,
right?
Really nice if we had Alex here.
Surprisingly enough, I'm going to go just the opposite of
Are
what
you
said.
really?
Yep. I'm going to say so Screen Connect or Screen Share. Or there's one of those that ConnectWise makes or ConnectWise bot. ConnectWise, GoToConnect, Zoom, things like that. Things where you're sharing are relatively well encrypted. Now, there are vendors out there that have a history of being hacked, and you may want to check those out. Just do a quick search. But as far as I know, like being able to do those things remotely is essentially you're creating your own VPN tunnel.
Brig, do you have any in mind, or do you not want to call them out?
The what?
Do you have any in mind?
Yeah, I just don't want to call
You
them
don't
out.
want to call them out.
Okay, so
Okay,
okay,
because it's not. That's not
I
It's not
definitely
yeah.
agree with
It
you.
hasn't been an issue lately.
exactly hasn't been an issue lately. So hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree with you, but at the same time, anytime you open things up remote,
I know, I agree.
it's another aspect of where you can be.
I agree, but at the same
Exploited.
time, like if you trust them in the office, then you need to be able to trust them at home, and giving them the right tools to do that, like ConnectWise and GoToConnect and things like that.
Okay,
That's
let me,
okay.
let me show you my look. You trust your end users? Come on, I'm your end user. See what I mean? That's what I'm talking about right there. It's like anytime
That's gonna drive me to drink.
you know.
On that
and-
note,
No, seriously though, if you think about it, right? It's like most people, no problem. But me, I'm going to push the issues,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to push it, and you're like, that's the guy I need to worry about, right?
But that's the thing too, is that like I can put things in place on this end.
What would
to
you do?
Limit.
What would you do? I think
Just make sure and limit your access in Active Directory.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Like there are things that you can do to make sure that you mitigate any sort of security issues.
There you go.
But essentially, if someone's at home and they're working here and GoToConnect, the issue is that you have to have like some sort of policy in place as well. Like, hey, you always need to make sure that your computer is locked. Here's like a set of GPOs. Like we don't allow people to work from home that don't use our compute units because we can control those. We can say like, hey, your screen timeout is this, et cetera, et cetera. So you have at least a semblance of control over that when they log in. So I would recommend doing that.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm
All right, yeah.
probably the best example of
of not locking your screen.
Shut up. That hurts because it's true.
It is true.
Hurts because it's true.
No, actually, he's pretty good.
Okay. I do try. Hey, can we go through imaging?
Yep. Are we?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Another thing, obviously, that's kind of a big issue, and I know you've been dealing with this, is remote workers, we need laptops.
Yep.
So you bring in a lot of new machines, you need to get all the software on there that you need. Again, this is a real basic thing, guys, but check this out. I'm going to click the control button, and I'm going to say everybody gets Flash and Chrome, not Chrome Test, Notepad, not uninstall 7-zip,
Nope.
and Putty. Going to create a nested package. Nice thing is it puts it in there. A couple things I want to point out. You can do a few things here, like add a sleep step and then move this around. You know, after a good Google Chrome install, I need a good pause in my
Yeah. And
installs.
sleep steps are amazing troubleshooting tools. They're amazing because you can say, I'm just going to insert a sleep step after every step. And I know it sounds kind of ridiculous, but if you're having problems deploying and then you install that sleep step, that can sometimes be exactly what you need. And it can help out that problem.
Nice thing is it's automated, so you don't have to watch
You
it.
have to watch or do anything.
Yeah. So sleep steps are good. The other thing I like to throw in occasionally is a good reboot. Okay. And again, here's the thing about a reboot. The great thing about the reboot step, if you add the step in there, it's going to reboot and it's going to wait up to the timeout time of the package for the machine to come back online to continue.
Yep.
So nothing wrong with doing that. And then finally, of course, we're going to name this package your baseline. Everybody gets this, right? Or at least all new machines get it. Now, we have shot multiple videos, FOG, MDT, WDS, ways for you to actually automate this to kick off automatically when a machine is either added to an Active Directory group or it's a command line call from FOG or WDS.
Yep.
I'd go over that again, but guys, just look up imaging, look up FOG, look up WDS, look up MDT. Videos are there, and the nice thing is I know they're long videos, and staring at me is tough, but we timestamp them. Thank you, Lisa.
Yep.
So that you can jump to the part that you know.
Yep.
Anything you want to add in regards to imaging?
I do. So we get a lot of tickets regarding imaging, and hey, how do I do this? And the script isn't running right, and things like that. We would love to be able to help you. We would love for your imaging to be successful, and we do everything that we possibly can to do that. But ultimately, when it comes right down to it, we don't know your environment, and so we can't always support that environment. And just a little bit of understanding, just realize that like we will help you as much as we possibly can, but because we don't know how your environment is set up and what you've done to set up your imaging server and things like that, there is a limit to what we can do. So we would want to make sure that PDQ deploy and inventory work for you, but at the same time, like we can't troubleshoot every like imaging environment. So just be aware that sometimes the answer is like we don't really know. Test it.
Can you run this from the CLI? If that happens, then we know inventory and deploy is working. Now it's time to look at your imaging solution.
Probably one of the best resources you have is the community on help@pdq.com or help.pdq.com is just to go to the community and check that out. Make sure that you're succinct about what it is that you're trying to do and the errors that you're getting, and the community is actually really good about helping out. So I would recommend that.
Absolutely. I want to do one more thing. I just want to say one more thing.
Okay.
I'm sanitizing my stomach right now.
I'm sanitized.
Sanitized
Yep.
because, killing that virus before it gets any further down
Sufficiently.
my immune system. Are there any more questions?
Yeah, I saw a question pop up.
Oh, yeah, we were going to jump into a speed round. Are you up for this?
we got a speed round.
Yes,
All right.
let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Good.
Dear Brig and Dear Lex, is it possible to throttle deployment traffic to remote VPN users? Sincerely, Jib.
Only in the network traffic. Oh, well, if your edge device may have quality assurance on that or what QoS. If that's the case, you could throttle it that way. Not quality assurance, quality of service. It's been a while. You can also, do this one here.
So here's the thing. This will only work if all your deployments are coming from your console, and that gets throttled at your console NIC.
Yeah.
So there's some work either way, both ends you could do with this.
Yes, and the algorithm that we use to do that is very strange. So test and see.
Test, I like that.
Yep.
It should kind of work, definitely.
Yes.
Probably. Yeah, test and see, guys.
It's an algorithm that is based on a little bit more than the magic 8 ball. Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, that instilled me with a lot of confidence. Thanks.
I said it's more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dear Brig, dear Lex, how can I create a dynamic collection of computers that aren't in a lab AD group and have old Chrome installed? I don't want to deploy Chrome to our lab machines that are out of date and only want to install to staff workstations. Sincerely, Antonio P.
All right. Okay. Anthony, I'm going to assume that your lab AD group is an actual OU, organizational unit, because that's going to be required as some sort of like separation away. It could even be name. It doesn't really matter, just so long as we can create a collection or something like that with it.
Because I type so good, I'm going to copy and paste.
Okay.
All right, so
I'm okay with that.
we're looking for any machine that isn't part of the AD group, Chrome old.
Yep. So what I'm recommending
Excuse me,
here, what
member
he's
of AD,
doing here,
that's wrong, sorry. Member
Yeah.
of collection, sorry.
So just kind of like to make this specific for yours, if you've got a lab OU or a collection or something like that, create the collection in inventory first and say like, okay, these are all my lab machines, and that's what he's basically just going to do here. Is that the Chrome Enterprise old would be the container for those machines.
Now, are we looking for an AD group that does not contain everybody who's outside of a AD group?
Well, if he's already made a collection, then we're set.
Okay.
We're good because we can just use the collection. Like, oh, these are the lab things, so we don't have to we can create a collection, or we can say like exclude everything out of this group.
Oh, so it's Chrome old, or it's also part of
Yeah.
a collection called, in this case, we'll say it's got to be Chrome old,
Yep.
and it's got to be part of, since I don't have that collection built, we'll just say part of our test
Yeah,
machines. It's the name of your collection.
yeah, that's okay. The Y is silent in this case.
Spelling matters.
Yep.
Don't let me type ever.
Okay. It's all right. I didn't know how bad it really was.
Right. Okay. I'm taking it.
It's
That
all right.
works.
It's fine.
If you spell it right.
It's okay. It doesn't. In this case, it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
But yeah, and then that way you can exclude. So because you've got a couple of things that you're excluding from. So you're excluding like your lab machines, and you also want like Chrome old. So that's essentially the collection that you would make.
Yep.
Create the collection first for your lab machines, exclude those from that particular collection, and then still do the Chrome old, and you'd be fine.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Are we winning?
Oh, there we go. I don't know.
Is there a
So-
winning thing for this?
Dear Lex and dear Shane, what is the best practice? I'm sorry, Brig. I was just reading a message from
I don't have
Shane.
the awesome
so-
beard yet.
What is the best practice to push updates to avoid large bandwidth consumption? Should we push to small groups? How many do you recommend? Sincerely,
We were just there.
Sonny.
Pull, 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 pull.
All right.
Sunny one, so true.
Do you want to show?
Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm lost. You lost me there.
Oh,
for a
you want to
second.
do a pull instead of a push?
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Options, preferences, performance, pull.
Yep.
Bing.
Yeah, right there. Yep. So that way, the way this works is that when you push it out, it's all coming from the console machine. And this way, pull, it's like, oh, nope, I'm not pulling from there. I'm just going to get it from here.
Here you go. I'm going to send the instructions.
Yep.
Hey, Brig, your machine needs to go
Yep.
grab this from the file server.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's it. So that's the easiest way of doing that, and you can mitigate that in a number of different ways.
absolutely.
Like especially if you're using like DFS, which is amazing. But yeah.
Hey guys, do you know of an easy way to change local group policies on a computer remotely with PDQ? Sincerely, Bobby W.
Ooh, local group policies. Well, it's just a registry. So group policy is just a registry change. So if you can do a registry switch,
So-
yes.
So you go in and find it in registry, export the registry setting, and then deploy it in an install step, because you can deploy
Yeah.
registry settings in an install step.
Yep.
Let me just show you what happens when you do that. So we'll grab an install step. Let's say you exported the regx file, right? Is it regx?
Yeah.
EXE?
Well, no, regex is regular expression.
Sorry, yeah. So you export it, and we got registry.reg file. Sorry. If you select that, you'll notice right here, in an install step, we're going to run a reg edit exe /s.
Yep.
There you go. Send it out that way.
Yep. Yeah, because there is a great website out there that correlates the group policy object with the corresponding change in
Registry.
the registry. I do not recall what it is, but if you do, I think if you do a Google search, it's one of the first few that comes up. But yeah, that way you can just map it, create that reg file, and then just push it out.
And our final question of the day, Lex and Brig, how do you automate changing batteries in a user's wireless mouse? Sincerely, Gandalf.
Hand me the bottle.
Oh,
Hand me the bottle.
Yeah, we're stumped.
Yeah, that's
Also, take
Yeah.
2 drinks because there was a small aftershock that we didn't feel.
oh really?
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
I'm in. Are we gonna have?
Well,
Okay.
yes.
Pour a little
One
something.
and
You
two.
know, it's that kind of day.
All right. I'm just gonna barely
Stumped in
just wet the
aftershock.
glass, man.
Yep. It's an end times drink
All right.
now. All right.
End of days. Skull.
Yep. Let's go.
Hey, love it.
Oh, and this is for Chris. Kampai.
That's right. Whoa, you did quite the end of days drink there.
Yeah.
Cheers. Cheers, y'all. Cheers, y'all.
All y'all. Hey, if you've been drinking with us, if you got a breathalyzer, I want to find out what you're blowing on the breathalyzer.
Yep.
I know I can't drive right now.
Oh no. No. I can't even get in a lift.
Really?
That's how bad I am. Yeah. Like you think that I'm standing up here? I'm not. I'm being propped up right now.
Just gets in the back seat and puts the guy in a chokehold.
That's it.
Can't
you
get in
going?
that lift. There's too much of a risk.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know words.
I don't know.
Words are tough.
Yeah, just encourage your.
Hey guys, social distancing. Watch, I'll show you how it's done.
I know.
Okay, not bad.
You're completely off the camera.
I know.
But I think that's because the camera got shifted about 2 or 3 inches.
That's true.
No,
A
I
little
think so. Oh,
shaky
yeah,
shake
that's
going
right.
on.
Yeah, because you're usually further, that
Hey.
way, and by that way, I'm like moving my hands to
Oh
the
yeah.
right.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
way
wow.
more
Yeah,
Really?
I think
room.
our I think
Okay.
our camera got shifted while
It did.
A little shake,
during the
shake.
earthquake.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until
Just now.
I was during the show. I made a comment to Kelly like, I think our camera.
I do want to add this, guys. So here's the thing. IT, the original hipsters of social distancing.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
2, PDQ deploy inventory, promoting social distancing.
Yes.
Okay. 3, I love my end users. I don't want the phone calls, guys. I'm social distancing from the phone.
Yeah.
I've heard diseases come through that. What?
What forums have you been reading?
Hey, all I know is this, man. Slack.
What phone numbers have you been calling?
Yeah, that too.
1-900 something
there you go.
something.
What kind of end users
So-
are you?
All right.
Are you supporting?
Oh dear.
You have no idea. Yeah,
it's-
okay.
I'll tell you what. It's been that kind of week.
It really has, guys.
Yeah.
It's been shaken. It's been stirred. And
Everyone out there, stay safe. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Everyone out
There
there,
he goes.
be safe. Yeah.
social distancing, hey,
Take care of each other.
wash your hands.
Yep.
Little, and then all I can say is this: if you don't need to buy toilet paper, man, let someone who needs it use it. I saw a billboard today that says we're giving away a bidet a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean, if this is what it takes in order to get bidets to be popular in the UK and the USA, I'm all for it.
well,
Anyway,
me too.
We
I
gotta
love
go.
the bidet, man.
We gotta go.
Hey, thank you for watching. I'm Lex.
Thanks. I'm Brig.
PDQ.com.
Yep. Stay safe.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Anthony P. and Sonny, winners of PDQ swag. Please send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you back here next week.